Hey everyone, welcome to the Autoimmune Dietitian YouTube channel. My name is Annie Rubin. I am a registered dietitian and I work with clients mainly struggling with autoimmune and inflammatory disorders. So when I work with clients, I help them implement a personalized nutrition roadmap designed to improve mobility, concentration, energy levels, joint pain, to help them give their lives back. So today we are talking about the circadian rhythm. And the circadian rhythm is really interesting because it keeps your entire body in sync. And it's like your own master clock that connects your body with the environment and connects all of your body systems with your entire body. So when your body is balanced and synchronized, it feels really good, sleep is great, energy levels are high, and everything seems to be working as it should. But when your body is not in line with your circadian rhythm, this is when things start to feel really off. So we're going to take a deep dive into what throws this rhythm off and how something as simple as sunlight can restore it. So before I jump in, I just need to attach my usual disclaimer to this video that the information in today's talk is not the substitute for the diagnosis, treatment, or care of disease by a medical provider. This is for informational purposes only. So please consult your qualified health professional for any changes that you make to your medical care, and that includes what you put in your mouth, your diet, your food, supplements, all that stuff. Okay, so what is your circadian rhythm? Your circadian rhythm is your body's master clock. It uses the 24-hour cycle of light and dark and creates this feedback loop in your hypothalamus. So your hypothalamus is located in your brain, and it's the main control center for many of your body's essential functions. And this feedback loop takes cues from both the internal and external environment to help regulate this cycle. So for instance, daylight and darkness help regulate the hormones related to sleep. Eating and fasting also help our circadian rhythm sync to all of the organs and their own cycles of work and rest. So in order for your body to be in balance and working properly, all of your organ and body cycles need to be in sync with each other and the outside world. It's a very complicated web of cycles and balance to keep everything in line, as kind of the human body is, right? So what alters your circadian rhythm? So the big question is, what causes this rhythm to go off track? And there are a number of things that can do this. The biggest offenders are jet lag, travel, and night shift workers. So traveling across time zones can really mess with your body's natural sleep-wake cycle, as I'm sure you've realized if you've ever traveled internationally or across the country. It's really hard. And if you travel a lot for work, your body may not have time to recover after each trip, which may just throw your rhythm off completely. People who also work the night shift really throw this rhythm off balance because they're awake during dark hours and then sleeping when it's light out. So it really confuses your body. Other things that can throw this rhythm off include things like alcohol use, chronic caffeine intake, illegal drug use, little exposure to daylight during the day, and suboptimal sleep habits such as using screens at night, too much artificial light before bedtime, or staying up very late. So how do you know if your circadian rhythm's off? Well, there's no test that can really confirm it, but there are some obvious symptoms that you can take a look at. So for one, if you were sleeping pretty good, yet you feel really tired throughout the day, like more tired than you should, it may be an indication that this rhythm's off. Insomnia may also be a sign of circadian rhythm imbalance. And then other symptoms include depression, stress, a hard time waking up in the morning, and difficulty concentrating. And granted, these are a lot of symptoms for other things too, but this is something that, you can just look at and see, how is my sleep? What does my schedule look like? Do I go to bed really late? Do I use screens at night? Are you traveling a lot and really just throwing your body out of whack? And the other thing too, if you're not consistent with your bedtime, that can actually trigger your circadian rhythm to kind of go off kilter. So how do you fix this? Well, here's the good news. Fixing your circadian rhythm is not that hard. So here are a few things that you can do to get your rhythm back in sync. The first two are probably the easiest. Well, I don't know about the first one, but it takes a little bit of work. But once you do it, you'll feel 1,000 times better, believe me, because I've done it myself. So you want to set a good sleep routine. This means going to bed and waking up at the same time, no matter what day of the week it is. So no sleeping in on weekends, no staying out super late on a Friday or Saturday night. Really try to be consistent with your bedtime and the time that you wake up. So ideally, you want to have a 1 hour window for when you go to bed and the same one and a different 1 hour window for when you wake up. If you're someone who goes to bed really late, I would start slowly shifting your bedtime earlier. It takes time, but your body will eventually adjust. The second thing, and which I think is the easiest thing to do, is to get sunlight first thing in the morning. Honestly, if this is the only thing that you take away from this video today, this is what you should be doing. You should be getting sunlight on your eyeballs first thing in the morning. No sunglasses, like straight on your face. Natural light. So if it's not sunny, it's not like, oh, I get to skip a day. Natural light on your eyeballs as soon as possible. So lots of ways you can achieve this, right? You could do this by walking your dog in the morning, walking your kids to school or to their bus stop, having your morning hot beverage outside, while you're reading the paper or like you're reading the news, meditating outdoors, or just stepping outside for a few minutes in the morning. And really your goal should be to do this before 10 a.m. Once you achieve that, I would encourage you to take it a little bit further by getting natural light on your face at different periods throughout the day to just remind your body like, oh, it's still light out. So many of us are just stuck at our desks or indoors, like doing work. But try to get out, take that step outside without sunglasses, get natural light on your face. It will really help kind of get your circadian rhythm nailed down and in sync with like the rest of the environment and the earth and then your whole body as well. Okay, the next one people are not going to like: avoid alcohol and caffeine at night. So caffeine is really obvious because, it's a stimulant. It keeps you awake. Really, you should not be drinking coffee at nighttime, especially if you're someone who detoxes really slowly. So I would encourage you to kind of, stick to coffee, caffeinated coffee in the morning. And then if you really like the taste of coffee, switch to decaf in the afternoon or evening. Alcohol is another one that really confuses people because they think it helps them relax, which it does, but it's also a stimulant and it can interrupt your sleep cycles. I had heard that it takes around 4 hours to like really fully metabolize alcohol. So if it is something that you want to enjoy, try to drink it 4 hours before you go to bed. I know for me, I've really noticed that alcohol affects my sleep quality. So I do try to drink it earlier rather than later if I am drinking it at all. All right, limit blue lights at night. So blue light is not great for your sleep. It actually interrupts the production of melatonin, which is your main sleeping hormone. It makes you tired at night. So you need that hormone to fall asleep. And this, blue light's primarily emitted through things like, screens, so like phones, TVs, computers, but it's also found in almost all artificial light. So one thing that you can do, which we started doing in our house, is we start dimming the lights around 7 or 7:30 to really kind of reduce the amount of blue light you're absorbing, because you can absorb it obviously through your eyes is like the main way that you absorb it, but also through your skin. So you have to be really careful about how much light you're being exposed to at night. And then, the other thing you can do is put on blue light blocking glasses. You can find them very cheaply from Amazon. They have a lot of cute styles now, so they're not like totally awkward to wear. But those are great. If you want to use screens at night, put on the glasses and that will help protect your melatonin production. My last tip is to stop napping. So those cat naps can be super tempting, especially when you aren't getting good night's sleep and you're like working on kind of improving your sleep cycle. But naps can really affect your bedtime routine if they're too long. So if you desperately need to take a nap, make sure it's no longer than 30 minutes. And I actually had learned a trick from watching a talk show. I don't know how true this is, but the guy was like a sleep expert and he said, you drink a cup, like a shot of espresso or a cup of coffee, and then you take a nap, and then the caffeine kicks in at like 30 minutes. So, which is right when you should be starting to like get out of your nap. So you drink the coffee, you take your nap, and then set your alarm for 30 minutes. And then once you wake, you'll get like a burst of energy. I don't know if it works, but it's worth a shot. All right, so if you would like more help managing your inflammation or, kind of getting on that healing journey with your autoimmune disease, I would love to chat with you. So you could book a free discovery call through my website, andyrubin.com. I've got lots of free material on my website as well if you're interested. And I also put out a weekly newsletter, so you can go to my website and sign up for that. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, please hit the little subscribe button. I put these out about every week. I hope they're helpful. If there's anything that you want to learn more about, just shoot me a message and I'll be happy to do present on a topic of your choice. So thank you again for joining me. I'm the Autoimmune Dietitian, and I will see you next time.